Okay. Here, let me share screen.
Microphone quality is a bit bad, but we can still hear you.
Okay, just a sec.
Staticky.
Dang, is it still bad?
Looks like it.
That's better, I think.
I can't even hear you guys. My goodness. Okay, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna play this video. Okay. See these rays right here? Just watch the rays.
How do you do this? It's not. Oh, there it is. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's following with this.
Yeah, that's exactly what we would expect.
That's what he's posted about. His math was
That's exactly what
that.
we expect. So we expect them to curve.
Like I said, yeah, it's going to curve a little because it's narrow at one end, big in the middle, and narrow at the other end. It has to curve. It's not going around a corner.
Dude, no, it doesn't have to curve. What are you talking about? It can just be a V.
How do you go from narrow to wide to
How can it be a V?
It
Can't.
curving or
Geometry doesn't work that way.
What are you talking about? It can literally.
The angles do not change. They follow. They are not linear. Excuse me. They are.
Yeah, the angles are not linear. The measurements are linear. The angles are not linear.
What angles? What are you talking about?
From you to the side. Look at the way. They can't just be at a point right above you, like the diagram that's always shown about the hallway, where it's like an angle above you and it goes one way, it's divergent one way and convergent the other way. It has an angle. No, it's
Why
smooth.
not?
And he gave you the math behind it, and I referenced that with the dribble trick. You can't see it because it's so slight. But if it's farther away to the left and right of you, like this is, then you see the curvature as he predicted.
Bro, I'm saying it doesn't have to curve. What are you talking about? It doesn't have
It's
to.
curving the whole way.
Be a V. Oh my God, I know it's curving. I'm saying it doesn't have to. Why do you keep acting like your side now says it has to curve?
How does something go
Holy shit, bro. What are we,
without a
are we serious?
How can anything go from thin to wide to thin without curving or cornering?
Dude, if they're parallel and you're looking one way and then looking the other way, then they're not curving. They're like a V, like a perfect V.
No,
I don't understand how you're saying it's curved.
Such that they
Okay,
have
a perfect
to be.
V has a corner in it. Where would a corner be on a straight line?
Right where you're at. What are you talking about, a corner? It's going to...
These have a corner at the bottom.
What do you mean, a corner?
Like a corner.
Like a convergence point.
Yeah, like a point where it kinks, a point where it bends in a quickly at a specific spot.
So wait, we do all agree that these are curving, right?
Yeah.
Of course they're curving. And by the way, the distance is curving for another phenomenon that I was referring to.
Of course they're curving.
Yeah, Witsit, that's their story now, is that it has to curve. That it can't possibly be a V. That it was always curving.
Due to strata.
Shut up, Zanick.
Can I speak, please? The ends are...
Now while I'm speaking.
Let me just finish the sentence, please. Thank you. At the end, you're seeing it going... The strata of the atmosphere is illuminating different levels and different altitudes, which makes it look like it's kind of a, like almost like masonry layers or something in the distance. That curve, I don't think you're talking about that curve, but I saw a curve there. But what we're talking about is what was mathematically shown in this chat.
Oh my God.
If it's side to side to you, it will not have the distinct angle, even though Bear thinks it does. It doesn't. It has to be a curve because of the angle, rate of change of the angles above you.
It's weird that you now say it has to curve when Witsit said that they were curved and you were like, what? Yeah, show me a picture. Oh,
I didn't know what he was talking about until we had
the math. I didn't pull it up because I knew he was going to do that.
I didn't know if he was talking about right above you. He didn't say where the curve was. I had no visual. I had no idea what he was talking about. Of course, whatever comes at you will be like a venturi tube. You know, like a venturi tube where it comes in and then it has a neck and then it'll roll out. It has to curve, even though those would be the venturis themselves. The cones would be straight. Where it forms a venturi will be a curved period. It has to be. You don't have a
It
venturi
literally
with
doesn't have to be.
You know, it
That's
doesn't have
what's
a
making me
straight.
so mad.
It
It doesn't
doesn't have a
have to be,
vertex.
Zanick.
It's not. Let me talk.
You guys are
Doesn't have a
just saying
vertex
that now.
at the venturi. There is a curved area, and that's what he was talking about mathematically. I don't know why
It
that's not
doesn't
No,
have
it
understood.
to be
curves.
a curve. You're just
Curves from
saying that
for
now.
the
No,
globe
I'm not
model.
saying
For
it.
the
It's
globe model,
mathematically
there's
the
two
way it
models.
is.
No, the globe model is
Oh my
requires
God.
Euclidean geometry for the perspective, and you would get a V. It would be just like a railroad track. And if you're claiming there's a curve, it would be like the smallest little curve right in the center, right on the edge of each edge of the center. And it's
No,
like
it's
if I was
progressive, especially when it's far
Oh
away.
my God, dude. So now if I'm standing in the middle of railroad tracks and I look to the left and these parallel lines look like they're converging, and then I look to the right and they look like they're converging out in the distance. If I look right in front of me, wait, if I go from right to left, they're gonna look like they're curving the whole way.
It's going to be a very slight curve,
Incredible.
but again, it goes from thin to wide to thin. There's no corner. There's only one choice left.
No, it's not.
It's
That's
going to
not
be a
how.
very
Wait,
sharp curve.
time out.
It's going to be pretty
That's not how
subtle,
that
but it's
works.
going to be.
No, that's not how that works. It's look like it's ramping up until it gets to right where I'm at. And then it's gonna look like it's ramping down. It's literally gonna go up to down,
Yeah,
Now you're going to
right?
go back
it'll
and
be a
double down on
curve.
your first mistake.
So
This is
if
your
I
second
take
mistake.
two diagonal lines and I
Two
put them
diagonal lines?
together, that's what they would be. So if I
No,
Why
they
would
take
be
two,
can't.
diagonal
They
lines?
can't have a vertex. They cannot absolutely have a vertex. That's what
Yeah,
his
there's no
math
vertex.
shows.
There's no
That is
corner.
how perspective works. It will be like a venturi tube that curves at if you're left and you're right before it starts diverging, going the other direction as it did coming towards you. Same thing, but it does not have
so
a
I
vertex.
just addressed that. I said the most you could say is right in the middle and right on each side of the middle, just where the middle is, where it switches over. It can't be like a direct point. If you're trying to claim it's a gradual curve from beginning to end, you just completely redefined what we observe in reality according to your claim, right?
No, we don't.
And
If you were to
and
get two highways in the middle of the
even
desert
even
and
better for me
they're
though,
5
you're
miles between
claiming
them,
that
you will see this
perspective
very
makes
dramatically.
everything look curved. Okay, cool. Perspective makes straight lines look curved. That's awesome. So
Well,
perspective
Yeah,
makes straight
that's
lines
been
look curved.
obvious forever.
Awesome.
Like that's basic math.
I'm
plus,
just
right
excited
above
now that we
you,
all agree
Basic
perspective
math.
makes straight lines. This is where people think that math is somehow explanatory, and if they can like do an equation that equates to understanding, that's not how it works. I already explained that perspective math was separated from Euclidean
All
plane
you
geometry math because it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No,
Works
that's not the
perfectly
point.
well. It's
If
basic
you have
trig.
straight strings on those boards we had in kindergarten, you can make use straight lines to make a circle. Do you know that? That string art that they use, those are straight lines to make curved shapes. This is kind of similar to what we're
Oh
doing
my
here
god,
with
there's no
these.
way you just thought that was
I
relevant.
can't fucking believe he's actually saying this.
Dude, the
When
way
you're
that
looking up,
they stretch out a string from end to end and then end to end and cross them all over each other to where they end ends up making a circle all around it. That is so
oh, I know.
relevant to this.
It's unbelievable.
It's related to what your
It's literally
confusion
not
is.
even slightly related in any possible
It
conceivable
is
way.
based on the angle, based on that line's relationship to every other line that intersects it and progressively intersects
Oh,
other
no way
lines.
this is
That will
happening.
make a
No.
curved line. You're seeing something that, and he
Oh
shows you.
my
It's so funny.
god.
You have the math. It's on
Zanick,
the
holy shit,
chat.
dude.
He
No, that
showed you the
graph is
relationship and
wrong.
how the angle progressively will change, and it
No,
shows you that there
no,
will be a gradual curve as it
nope.
approaches and it departs from you.
When
And that's
you're
what
Actually, I don't
on
makes
think
the
we
it
should
ground
fight this.
looking
so
I don't think
straight
visible
up,
and known. In
oh
reality,
my
if you
god,
see two
whatever, dude.
highways like in Arizona that are parallel and they have a mile between them, you can actually have that same effect and measure it. Go get a
okay, so
friggin'
how come
Yeah,
when I see crepuscular rays every day, why are they not just curving?
Do you see them?
It's
Do
a
you see them
fairly
go behind you?
gradual curve. It's not like
Oh,
slapping in the face off.
the video we just watched was slap in the face.
No, it wasn't. That looked
Are you kidding
pretty
me? It
much
was
like a
literally an
straight line
arc
working very
from
well.
it was an arc beginning to end.
No, the end. That
Yeah,
was a
but it was a very
strata
slow.
reflections that were showing the curve at the end of this thing. The curve I saw was above you. That's what I was speaking to, not in the distance, and that's why I mentioned it was more of a strata reflection of that
Oh my
light that was
God. Are
shining
they
off the
denying it
clouds
again?
at different
They
altitudes.
can't decide what they want to do.
Dude, I can't
You can
even
see
follow
it
this.
looks like a jagged. Come on, you saw it. Looks like a jagged
It's a
edge of
subtle
a knife
curve.
almost, where it
No.
curved because some parts were illuminated. There was no clouds. Then above it, there were some clouds, and it was illuminated, and it made a slight bend. But what I was looking at was above you, and that's what he talked about in his math. That's what I've been talking about since he brought it up as well. That's the curvature that cannot be a right angle that Bear can understand.
Dude,
Yeah, he
straight
just
lines above you, when you're looking up, in the middle of them, they're going to look like they're just going to connect. Over your head, parallel rays are going to look straight and the same width. Okay,
No,
that
Only
is
the parallel
reality.
line going past
that's
you
not
that have
reality.
Based
it
on
curved.
perspective, when you're looking one way versus the other, that's when it gets different. You're acting like there has to be a weird hard corner right in the middle when you look up. That's not how
You're
perspective
seeing
works.
it as a hard corner.
It's
You're
going to
seeing
look
two lines
straight if you
connected
cut
with
off the top, like the sides, and just look at it straight up. It's going to look like a straight line, give or take, because you're directly under it.
do we need a picture?
Picture might help
Grab that,
some,
grab
but I'm
that
not even sure
screenshot. Throw that in the chat.
Okay.
Let's take a screenshot of that thing, and you can see the strata in the reverse direction that shows that the lines of the crepuscular rays, these straight rays that are coming from the point source, are hitting different strata of the atmosphere in the clouds, and that's why it's looking like it's taking almost like a staircase curve in the reverse direction. That is not the same thing that's happening above you.
So where does the perspective come in then, Zanick?
Well, they're diverging in the distance due to perspective, and they're making a curve divergence above you due to perspective as well.
So what are you talking about? The staircase, whatever. That was just
Because
like
he
a
said they were
shadow.
curved end to end, and I did see some curvature of that crepuscular rays, anti-crepuscular rays in the distance, but that was due to it was illuminating different layers of the atmosphere, the clouds, the stratus, or whatever was in there, like Cirrus
Just
or
that little
something.
part was they were curving the whole way. Don't mistake what I'm saying
Only
for what
no,
was
only
shown.
put it up
The
again.
only thing I'm saying is
Put it up
that they
again. Now we'll talk
absolutely
about
can
it
be
because
these.
you're seriously confused, and now you're just double downing in your confusion.
Nice projection, bro. Well done.
I'm not confused. I remember what I saw. But Witsit, put it back up again so we can take a screenshot of that. I'll circle it and point out what I'm saying and what is
I know what you're
actually
talking about. You saw a little jagged part from the
it's
shadow.
very visibly shown there in that picture.
I know. I've just addressed it 3 times. Can you say
Show
what I
me
said
the
it was?
picture.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff like this never ceases to amaze me, man. Because if I were to just think for a second and come up with a time period where you're gonna need to say it doesn't curve, then you will immediately say that.
hold me to this for as long as we ever talk again, but it curves slightly. It is not dramatic. It is not going to look dramatic. And you saying that video is dramatic is pushing it. But it is going to curve slightly. And the details of how much we can do more, like slightly different math if you want, fine. But yeah, it curves slightly.
Bro, the graph you had said parallel lines 10 feet to the left and right or something. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know what your graph is talking about. And then it's showing the curve. Like, I know what you were trying to show, but what does it mean when you say parallel lines 10 feet to each side of you?
Basically, it is imagine you are on a freeway, 20 feet wide. You're in the middle of it. So the edge of the road is 10 feet to your side. And beside you, where you're close to it, it's going to be at a pretty, like it's going to look fairly wide. Off in the distance, where it's hundreds and thousands of feet away, it's going to look pretty narrow. And there isn't a corner. It is in the real world a straight line. If you move your perspective to the edge, it would just be a straight line. But from where you stand in the middle, the angles do form a curve. Like it is not, it is the, sorry, let me try to phrase this accurately. it is a physically straight object. These are the angles you would see to a physically straight object in Euclidean space. We're ignoring refraction, we're ignoring all that bullshit.
See, I don't see the curve, dude. I picture it in my head like train tracks, like just a V.
Yeah, I guess maybe the difference is you want to, if you can in your head, what is curving is not the edge of the road. What is curving is the angle to the edge of the road. It is the angles that curve, not the physical object.
In Euclidean geometry, that's what you're going with?
Yes, due to perspective. That's how that works.
Due to perspective, okay. So we're talking about like two different things here, which is kind
They
of
look like they're different angles. They are from the observer, but they're not in reality. Just like the crepuscular rays are not angled to that object. They're not different angles to the sun. Those little islands on the water, they have crepuscular rays that are illuminating different islands. But if you're on those islands and the sun was above you on one, they would be directly above you in the other. There's not going to be an angle, a 45-degree angle one way and a 45-degree in the opposite direction in the other one. That's not how it works. They're all straight up.
So how are you claiming
It looks like it is. It looks like it is because that's perspective.
So how are you claiming curvature then?
Because if they're going to be if they turn in from crepuscular rays or some ray that's actually converging to you, when they go away from you, they'll be diverging. And that divergence convergence point is not a vertex angle. It is a rounded, that's why I keep on using a venturi. It's shaped like a venturi. Very, very.
I think you guys are.
It is a venturi.
I think you two are going back and forth, not knowing between the geometrical and the perspective of what it's going to look like.
No,
you guys
I have the equation.
Messing that up.
He posted it. He posted the actual equation.
The graph.
See what happens.
The graph is retarded
at a progressive rate.
Dude, oh my god, you guys are so off on this. It's insane, dude.
He gave you the answer. A simple model.
You say that. You say that. Sure.
You don't believe it because you don't believe in math.
No, I've looked at it. I've looked it over, and I'm very good with math.
People to cover mistakes.
Zanick, you guys have been wrong like every step. You want me to believe the chart now?
Name me one thing we've been wrong about.
Well, you switched back and forth 3 times on the curving versus the corner.
I didn't know what he was talking about. In my mind,
so there's that already.
About like rainbows and.
I know you keep switching it up in your mind. I get it. That's what I'm claiming still happening.
I didn't realize he was talking about what happens when it goes over your head and goes the other direction.
Oh my god! I said it 17 times. I knew he wanted the video just to make sure it existed. Right? It turned into. It went from. I would be shocked to see that. Let me see it. To of course that's what happens, and that's what happens every time. Which is why I was reluctant to just go grab the video real quick without getting you to state a claim.
That is literally what you do every time, Zanick. And then
what are y'all arguing about?
Saying I don't know the graph.
No, I had no idea. The slightness of that curve above us, it was something I wasn't even considering. I was picturing something like a sundog, some big curve. That's why I posted it. In my mind, that's what I thought he was talking about. And it wasn't anything like he was talking about. He was talking about what we were already looking at, but the point above his head where there's a slight curve.
Zanick, it's the same thing, just from the side. Whatever.
You know what Witsit was really talking about? He was talking about something that I could give an answer to that was not curvature. These lines that were hitting different strata of the atmosphere and the cirrus clouds, different levels, which kind of made a staircase, kind of a sawtooth direction to the right in that picture. And that is not due to perspective. That is due to different clouds being illuminated by the perspective lines. So if he's talking about that, that is not curvature. That is a fake curvature. It looks an optical illusion.
So now it's not curving.
Well, the ones in the distance were not. Go look at the picture again. If you look at it, you'll go, you know what? Zanick's right. That is the light.
I can bet you a lot of money that will not happen.
Go do it. Put it up again. You won't put it up because you know we're going to find it. And I'll circle it and show you what I'm talking about because it's very apparent the way that those clouds are being illuminated that they are not part of a curvature due to perspective. They're due to a curvature due to what these elements in the different strata of the atmosphere are being illuminated with respect to the observer.
So that's
the stuff above your head.
That's like the fifth time.
That's what he was talking about when he finally showed it was above our head, and that was already displayed mathematically in the prior post.
You're talking about the chart again? You're going to talk about the chart?
Math describes things. So we're right. Well, whatever you.
Oh
I
my
would
God.
in it, but go ahead.
Bro, this is so wild. You guys
And
are.
he already was wrong about the way things fall in the distance over a curved surface or a flat surface. If you have an
Zanick, he
airplane at
wasn't.
30,000 feet, it's going to go down in your field of view faster at a greater rate than
No, it's
something
not.
that is 80, 30,000 feet going over a flat
Hey,
surface.
Zanick,
That's
you know what?
also
I was going to prove you
mathematically
wrong.
provable.
I was going to prove you wrong on that, but you keep moving on so quick to more and more bullshit. If what you're saying is correct, right? The literal only difference between it being on a flat plane and a globe is that if you're right, where you can see it longer on the backside as it's moving away from you or as it's coming to you, the only way that's possible is if your horizon is literally lower on the globe model. But as we know, the horizon's in the exact same place as it is, whether it's globe or flat. So that plane is going the same distance. It's going away.
That's not true at all.
Dude.
Yeah, the horizon dip is different on globe versus flat. Globe definitely has more horizon dip. It's a small amount, but it has more.
Yes, it's such a small amount that you would not see any difference with the perspective of a plane going over your damn head, and you know it.
No, that's not true at all.
Okay, explain it again, Zanick.
You need pretty good measuring.
In fact, it's more visible with it being an airplane over your head.
Zanick, it would be exactly the same.
Being
You're way wrong.
It's 5 miles above your head. You can see it for over 100 miles. If you are on a globe, you see something that is at eye level. It's only going to be above eye level for 3 miles before it's out of sight. 6 feet tall. So we get a longer distance to see this thing come down. Hold on, let me finish.
Wait, say that again. Hold on. Say it again.
Finish.
Can you repeat it?
30,000 feet or 5 miles high, we are going to be able to see a thing for over 100 miles go down lower in your field of view than you would if you were on a flat surface where it was just going off in the distance. Still would be going down, just not going down as fast as that fast of a rate. In contrast to what Witsit said, he thinks it's the opposite. I'm right. He's not correct.
Zanick, it would be so you're saying that because the Earth is a globe, the gravity is going to pull the plane a farther way around where we can still see it. Whereas if it's flat, the plane's going to be higher than it would be, like when it's its furthest point away. Is that what you're saying?
I have no idea where you got what came from that. No, that's wrong.
Believe me, I'm trying to follow you here. This is what
you brought up gravity. How does gravity come into it?
Because I can't figure out how the fuck you're trying to say that on a globe we would see the plane for longer.
Okay, let me spell it. Okay, Regis, let me spell it out for you, and I won't do it in an insulting way. I'm just going to do it kind of slow.
Do it however you want, bro.
Okay, so we have a flat surface, and we have an object that is above our heads at 5 miles up. All right? 5 miles, something close to 30,000 feet. And it starts going away from us. Due to perspective, it'll start coming down angularly. And we can tell you what that angle will be by taking the angle, the height above us, divided by the distance away from us, inverse tangent. That'll give us an angle down. If we do this and this object is staying above the surface at 30,000 feet, always is not changing its altitude above the surface, globe or flat globe or flat Earth. So if you have a round Earth, it'll continue to follow the curved surface, but the curvature is going away from us downward. So
that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I asked.
That has nothing to do with gravity. It has to do with the fact that the Earth is curved.
I said gravity pulls it around the curve.
I'm almost done. I mean, this is the second scenario. Now the curved Earth. The object is still above our heads at 30,000 feet. As it goes away from us, it starts going down. But it's staying at the same height above the surface, which is going away from us down as well. So it will be angularly further down in our field of view than the previous version of a flat Earth. In contrast, with because of the fact that the Earth is curving away from us.
So what if you only see the plane for a certain amount, for a certain distance? That is the same. That is the same on flat.
Here's going to be. You know what?
Hold on. Let me get the question out. So how do we know that we're not seeing the plane and it disappears at the same mileage from where we're at? You're just assuming that it's going to follow the globe all the way down, and we're going to be able to see over the curve of the globe to see it longer? Come on, dude. It's going to be the same, and you know it.
Right. So that's why
the plane is
exactly the same.
We have
if I can get a couple of words, and I've been listening.
Let me finish. We have the moon. We have the moon in the sky. Hold on. And we have this airplane that crosses the moon, and it is about 250 miles away or 200 miles away. We see the moon, we see the airplane. Okay, maybe 200 miles away. We see it transited, and it's about the same size as the ISS. About the same distance too, by the way. But if it's flat, that same airplane that is above the surface, 5 miles, will be higher in the sky than it would be for the jet.
Oh my God!
Zanik,
you just
you wouldn't
proved.
see the plane; it'd be too small.
Zanik, you just proved that we're on a globe. You know that? You just proved that we're on a globe.
Well,
because there is no damn observation that does what you're saying.
So what you do is then you just get the distance. Let's say it's 250 miles. You divide the distance to it. The 5 miles high above the surface divided by the distance to it, you'll give 5 miles divided by 250. You get some number. Take an inverse tangent that gives you an angle. You do that for a flat Earth. That's what it would be for the flat Earth. This angle that we will get for the object that's crossing the moon, that's near the horizon, will be much lower than for a flat Earth.
Zanick,
You think I know 50 miles away, bro? What are you talking about?
200 miles away.
Like Zanick, you think I don't understand what you're saying?
At 30 or 40,000 feet, 200 miles away, if it's crossing the moon, yes.
I understand what you're saying. I just disagree with it. I don't think we're going to notice the big
you
difference.
can disagree. Now just do the simple math. Figure out how high it would be if it was 250 or 200 miles away and 5 miles high. Do you think just do plug? I'll plug it in the calculator right here. If I'll give you the angle myself.
200 miles away, Zanik?
Yes.
No. Nope.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Yes, of course.
It's going to be.
No, you're not going to
like
see the
5
plane.
miles, just like it is high.
I've
You're
seen
not going to see the plane.
miles an hour at
How have you
30,000
seen
feet.
that plane?
Not 200 miles, not even close.
Yes, when you're in an airplane and you're at 35,000
right, I'm done.
feet,
This
I can
is
see
real,
flashing lights about 150
fucking idiot,
like
man.
Reading. I can see Reading when I'm at San Francisco and it's a clear all the way up the coast. I can see the flashing lights at Reading, which is about.
When you're in a plane?
Not a problem.
In a plane? Weird.
In a
That's
plane.
totally fucking different.
Really close to the horizon, but you can see flashing lights. So if you were on the ground,
Welcome to the
looking at
flat
that
Earth.
airplane, and there was a moon behind you, you would see it transited. I'm just doing the moon there because they have transits of airplanes that are that far away. By the way, you can get the angular size of the airplane, and you can see the angular size of the moon, and know how large the airplane is. You can figure out how far it is away as well.
Talking. Can we get some words in?
Tool.
Moderation.
He's going on. Learn how to use math.
Come on now,
to figure
Zanick,
this shit out
turn.
because you're clueless.
Hell. Shut up. Fuck. You've just gone on. You're wrecking the mic, you are. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God, here we go. I'm the biggest expert of mathematics.
Just panicking. Just complete and shut up.
Japanese, English,
Can you shut up now? Can you shut up now? Can you shut up now and let someone else talk?
No, because you're going to not have any
Shut the
clue
fuck
what
up, you
about.
cunt. Too much bloody noise, you're. Actually a passenger in that aeroplane, it would be still flying horizontally. It wouldn't be nose downwards, flying horizontally away from your location. So what you're witnessing is just an optical illusion as the plane moves away from you. That's all you're looking at here. There's no nosing down of the plane going down. It appears to be going down because
talk about nosing down.
You made that point. The nosing downwards. The plane is moving away from you horizontally. The plane is flying
at 200 miles. It'll be
horizontally,
nosing down about a
ladies
couple
and gentlemen.
degrees, but you can't see it through.
Right, you can't help yourself, can you, Zanick? You just can't help yourself.
No, you can't help yourself. You're saying things. You're just saying gibberish.
We got to get something else going, guys, unless you guys recommend we don't mute those two for just shouting and screaming at each other. Does anyone else want to pick it up? You guys can't. That's just, we can't hear that.
No, I'd rather just wrap this up. It's so much longer than I said 10 minutes for like 7 hours or something. But like I dropped a little illustration there, right? Like logically, if you're saying they're like parallel lines that, converge like railroad tracks do, then if you were to just take one from each side and they just go to meet, then you'd see something like this. It'd be a little bit more shallow than this, maybe. Like pretty simple stuff. And if suddenly we're claiming that we're expecting these to curve and make like a rainbow, that I've never heard such a thing before, and that would be curved visual space, right? That would comport to kind of my understanding of things. So yeah, anyway, that's my take. I just wanted the many examples of stuff that shows us curved visual space. Because when I say something like we see in a little dome, everyone just thinks, I guess, that that's crazy, or we just made it up because we needed it, or I don't know.
Sorry about that, guys. Jin gets
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not yelling at you. So that picture is very interesting, and I don't know what's causing that. So that's different than what we do. That's different than the video you posted, by the way. That resembles a sundog type of effect, but I don't know what the scenario is for that at all. So I can't even speak to it. You can
So
take a
this
screenshot of your. Sorry.
this can't be explained with just crepuscular and anti-crepuscular rays being parallel and converging like railroad tracks due to perspective.
Well, that's not a crepuscular ray. I don't think. I mean, it's a variation of the concepts. Even rainbows are, but this is something I've never seen before. So I
It is
can't speak.
literally just it's just an illustration, like I said. It's literally just AI. I just told it to do
Oh, it's
that.
AI.
Yeah, I
Oh,
literally
okay.
just told it to do that to like depict what we would expect if
Can,
what you were saying is true.
can you do me a favor and just take a screenshot of what you showed me earlier, like maybe in the distance and right above you, just that video, or can you give me the link to the video? Or is it
Yeah.
YouTube?
Yeah.
And I'll do it. Okay. I mean, I don't argue with you. These are interesting phenomena. I think they follow perspective perfectly. I mean, it's anti-crepuscular and crepuscular rays are not a mystery, but there are some pretty cool things that happen with light and sun rays. And this isn't obviously this is AI, you said, but rainbows and sundogs, they're all very, and even things down at the refractive level of superior inferior mirages are all very amazing.
Dude, you're a mystery, Zanick. No, Witsit, do you need something before I go to bed, bro?
No, it's all good.
IT
Pretty
shit?
late.
Okay. For sure. I'll be
Yeah,
free
thanks
tomorrow.
for posting that. That's cool.
I had there is
Hey.
a really dope image of crepuscular and crepuscular from like the side basically, and it shows similar to a rainbow, just not as like as exaggerated, and it's super dope. And normally what all the globers would say is that it's not actually curving, it's just because they're using a wide angle. And it's like, no, it's curving, and wide angles can exaggerate curves, but whatever. But I can't find it.
You have the 75, 69-mile increments. Is that what you were saying?
Nope.
You said it was true for not up to 15 degrees. You said the other 75 was
Mm,
9 miles.
No, I said it's relatively accurate in between 15 degrees and then like maybe 85 or something like that.
So
So
how
about
many
70
is
degrees.
accurate? How many degrees are accurate?
Relatively accurate for about roughly 70 degrees.
70. So what's that? 70, 69s. What's that?
We would just expect to see that in curved visual space. So like,
No, on the ground. The 69 miles is on the ground.
yeah, but we're looking up at the sky, and so we would expect to see that. Like, there's no difference if we were on a globe and we were looking with plane geometry perspective, we would expect to see 1 degree per 69 miles, top to bottom, right? Zenith to horizon. If we were on a flat Earth with curved visual space, we would not expect to see that top to bottom. What we would expect is to see that in this little mid-range area. And that's actually what we do see in reality. If we actually go try to use one degree per 69 miles, we see that like linear relationship, like in that little mid area. It's not perfect. It's slightly off here and there. And that's also what we would expect to see. We would actually expect it to be very exact on a globe because it's just like geometry, right? Of a ball. But so the differences are with a flat earth with curved visual space, you would say, well, the reason that it doesn't work below a certain point and above a certain point is because everything starts compressing. It starts curving down, like in your little dome of vision. Everything starts curving down towards the top and bottom and compressing. And so instead of a linear relationship, it becomes logarithmic. And what the globe says is under 15 degrees, it doesn't work because of refraction. And it, I don't even know. I never really get a clear answer about why it doesn't work near zenith.
Yeah,
So
I'm
anyway,
not asking about the globe. I'm asking about
I'm
the
just
flat
explaining
Earth.
the
The
difference.
69 miles per 1 degree on flat Earth. So if we have 70 degrees increments of 69 miles of flat Earth, that's
Yeah, because the sky's
4,830.
curving, not the ground.
That's 4,000. The ground's flat and straight for
Yeah, the
69 miles
sky
per
is
1 degree.
curving. The sky's
No, I'm
curving,
talking about
not
the
the ground.
ground, though. I'm talking about the ground, not the sky.
How does that work when going around Antarctica on the
Hang on,
Gleason
hang
setup?
on.
Oh my god, I don't claim exactly what Antarctica
No, it's
looks
not
like.
about you, but just like theoretically. Could let's
You've
say
got
someone that did
70.
back that let's say someone that
How
did
does
back
that
that up,
happen? How does
if
that
they
happen?
were
Yet when I do that, some I get muted.
it's on the point. Go ahead. I'm not trying to interrupt. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So you got 70 increments of 69 flat Earth miles. That's 4,830 miles. The other 15 degrees, do you presume that that's flat or that suddenly curves? Or the 30 degrees?
I don't think you're getting it, man. Like it's all flats and the sky is curving.
Okay. Is the equator a circle or?
It's an arbitrary line that we've drawn an arbitrary map.
Yeah, but is it a circle?
On the map that we
On
arbitrarily
flat
drew it
Earth?
on. Yeah. Well, the equator is a line that we drew on a map. Really, regardless of what
It's
you
a
say about
latitude. It is a latitude, the equator.
yeah, and the latitude's built from the stars with a coordinate system of longitude and latitude, and you know
So
we made a
presumably
map.
on the ground, on the equator, going east or west, you'll be going in a circle.
Inside of that construct, yes.
Okay. So do you know what the distance is around the equator on
Uh,
flat Earth?
do, no, I don't claim a map.
Well, you've got a distance. You've got a radius distance up to 70 degrees so far.
You mean that map does?
Well, it's what you describe. It's what your words paint a picture of that.
Oh, you mean like the relationship with the sky and the ground?
No, I'm talking about the distance on the ground and the circles.
I just said I don't claim a distance to the equator.
No, you just said there were 70.
About like two different things here, which is
Or the 30 degrees.
I don't think you're getting it, man. Like it's all flats and the sky is curving.
Okay. Is the equator a circle or?
It's an arbitrary line that we've drawn an arbitrary map.
Yeah, but is it a circle?
On the map that we
On
arbitrarily
flat
drew it
Earth?
on. Yeah. Well, the equator is a line that we drew on a map. Really, regardless of what
It's
you
a
say about
latitude. It is a latitude, the equator.
yeah, and the latitude's built from the stars with a coordinate system of longitude and latitude, and you know
So
we made a
presumably
map.
on the ground, on the equator, going east or west, you'll be going in a circle.
Inside of that construct, yes.
Okay. So do you know what the distance is around the equator on flat Earth?
No, I don't claim a map.
Well, you've got a distance. You've got a radius distance up to 70 degrees so far.
You mean that map does?
Well, it's what you describe. It's what your words paint a picture of that.
Oh, you mean like the relationship with the sky and the ground?
No, I'm talking about the distance on the ground and the circles.
I just said I don't claim a distance to the equator.
No, you just said there were 70 increments of 69 miles. The other 30 degrees you're not sure about. But if you're claiming the
Yeah, do
Earth
you
is
understand
flat,
how
then
that
that
works?
30 degrees presumably will be flat too.
That's right. Like as soon as you move forward, the degrees would change. So it's not like there's an area that all of a sudden isn't flat or something. Like I don't understand.
Yeah, okay. So you have, as I said, 70 increments of 69 miles of flat Earth.
Yeah, we have mapped the sky and then created maps based on the way the sky looks everywhere you are. And the sky appears to drop at a certain rate. And we've mapped that out with the map given to us by like the world governments. It seems to have some usability for sure, right? I mean,
Well, it's used for navigation and has been for hundreds of years, yes.
well, for
And the
hundreds of years,
distances have been
our
used as well,
navigation was
for the
shit.
same purpose.
Well, for hundreds of years, right, people got lost and got wrecked, and every time they went to the south, they would die and lose all their stuff on the boat and crash and die. Like the south was a disaster when we did celestial navigation until recently we started incorporating GPS.
But the distance of the equator, the given distance of the equator is, has been used for hundreds of years too, for logistics,
Also,
measurements, traveling, navigation.
what? For thousands of years, people have traveled the whole equator?
So for hundreds of years, those numbers have been used for logistics and for navigation.
Yes, yes, I do
Yeah.
believe that we just discussed that.
Yeah. So there is a value given for the equator, a distance value.
I think we discussed that, yeah.
Okay. So, well, what is that? I mean, is on the flat Earth, is it the same globe, 24,901 miles?
I thought we discussed that, right? Whereas, like, I don't claim that because I don't claim a map of the whole Earth. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, but the equator is a circle or not.
Yeah, but
Tell us, Elder
Yeah,
Bear.
yeah,
You don't have
yeah.
to. You don't have to go through him. Just tell us if you have some info or whatever. Because there's people that are looking at different models, right? Even different flat Earth models. So just tell us what you think, and people will consider it.
Well, the flat Earth model that Witsit is explaining is flat for 70 degrees. So it's flat for 4,830 miles from the North Pole
He just told you he
outwards.
doesn't have a model.
I know it's just so weird. It's so you so
Okay,
Dude,
desperately
he
want
just
to
said it's
force
true.
me.
He
why are
says
you
it's
trying to
true though.
attribute him to a model, dude? He just said, I don't claim a map. Like, what are
It's
you doing?
like
I
weird.
didn't.
What are you
But you
doing?
have 4,830 miles of flat Earth so far.
Oh, that's
You are
great.
saying that,
Good
Elder Bear.
observation.
No,
Oh my
Witsit
god.
agreed. 70 for 69 mile increments.
No, he agreed with you saying it, trying to understand what the hell you're bringing up.
Yeah,
No,
that's what he said.
I agreed that there is a relationship between the ground and the sky. And as you move across the earth, the stars in the sky move. And they move at a relatively predictable rate, as long as you're only looking at the stars in between like 15 and 85 degrees. And it's not exact, it doesn't always work, but it's pretty good, pretty damn good. As far as I can tell, I've never done it myself, right? But it seems pretty for sure. And whatever, I explained to you why. I explained like, yeah, if the earth was flat and we saw the sky curved, then that would be explained. You're trying to now say, okay, like to still man your points, like, okay, you're traveling using that method, which means that it's determining a certain amount of miles. And so then you try to make this leap over to how big is the equator, as if it's a realistic question that someone's going around the whole equator using celestial navigation. I mean, it's not even a thing. Like if you want to present some evidence where someone reliably documented where they went around the entire equator utilizing celestial navigation and only looking at the stars between 15 and 80 degrees, and it matched exactly what was predicted, and they were on a boat that somehow levitated above the land masses on the equator, then let me know. But it's not a real thing, right? You're just going off of assumptions based off a whole entire world map. That's what you're doing. You're trying to corner me in to defending that map and defending that model. I guess you thought that like the cell nav was going to do it, but it's not. It's not going to do it. Man.
Well, the sun, the sun gives us, a time distance, doesn't it? 15 degrees an hour.
Okay, we're back to the sun, man. We're back to the sun, dude. I think
So
the
that would
sun's
give.
current.
Doesn't that give a distance on the equator?
You mean on the arbitrary line, on the assumed arbitrary map that I denounced? Yes.
Well, it depends whether it's a circle or not.
It would
Some
only be
people
a
say it's a straight
circle on
line.
the map that you assume.
How do you not
But you said
understand
you said earlier when you were talking about a compass that east and west was a circle.
How about this, Elder Bear? On the global model, it
So
would.
if you were traveling on the equator going east and west, you'd be going around it in a circle.
Elder Bear, you keep switching back and forth between flat and globe and then conflating what
No, I'm
he's
not.
saying.
No, I'm not. I'm only talking about the flat Earth. Witsit spoke earlier about how do you know what the south is, and then referred to a compass and said that you would be going in a circle if you went east to west. All
I
right, so
didn't say
that
that.
must stand for the equator as well. You must be going in a circle.
Witsit told you 10 times he's model agnostic right now. He's researching just like many others right now. He's literally you have no vector of attack on him on this. He's not claiming
He
one.
just gave the numbers.
He's also not he finds importance in a model, so you can't attack him on that either. You just tell us what you think. You don't have to go through Witsit to share this info.
Well, I'm
No,
asking
please.
Witsit.
By all
I'm
means,
not
ask the same
asking
question
Witsit his
15 times in a
opinion.
row, please. No, keep asking.
My opinion is based on like how difficult it is to map out the whole earth. Like we're kind of limited to what we have. It obviously has been proven to be valuable and useful in many ways. I think it's really weird that people think they know it's completely accurate, because that's not really the case at all, right? Like even the world's like biggest planes like have to stop and refuel all the time. Ships are going around all kinds of places, adding all kinds of miles, subtracting all kinds of miles. And now we use GPS that's just automatically updating and kind of reifying that model. Like, I think it would be insane if the world's most powerful families and governments, like royal families, spent equivalent to many billions of dollars to traverse, map out the earth, and then they came and gave all the peasants like the everything that they found. It would be the first time in the history of mankind that that has happened, right? And then what we saw is when they went to the south and they did a lot of exploration, the person that did that and brought it back to the royal family, they took his writings and they kept them secret for many years, right? And then he died, and then it got quote unquote released, right? And then they gave a decree that no one could create a map unless it adhered to the coordinates that they provided. So it's like I could stick my head in the sand and pretend that's all totally normal and there's nothing suspicious about it, but that just doesn't make sense to me, right? Like, so I don't denounce the current map and model in terms of usability. I'm not even suggesting that we replace it, do away with it, or that would be stupid. It's like what we have, and we're not realistically going to go replace it tomorrow. So, like, I know, again, a lot of people are not comfortable being able to just be like, yo, I don't know. And they actually are super arrogant and think they can make fun of me because, like, you don't even have a map of the earth. It's like, all you have is what you were spoon fed. And then you get on a plane and a GPS re updates as you travel based on what the model is built into it. And then you're like, oh, this is so real. Like, I'm just not the same as everybody, bro. But you're not going to get me to like defend this AE map. You're not going to get me to defend this Gleason model, quote unquote. Like, I've defended it some in the past. I never have claimed it, and I've pointed out the problems with it more efficiently than most Globers for like 5 years. I have entire streams
Well,
pointing out all these things that you're trying to present to me in 2026 as gotchas, right? Like I
no,
listed
no.
off the problems better than you are.
You're the one. You're the one who's now bringing back the information to whatever royal family.
Do you
And then there are
understand what?
maps. And then there are maps, which you said, you can't deny. I mean, we have maps to get from place to place that have distances on them that are measured. And yet
Okay,
you say there are no
what
maps.
exactly,
We don't have a map.
Elderbear? What exactly is your point? Like, what is the main point you're trying to make here? What are you trying to
And
say?
as far as flat Earth goes, you spoon feeding me what flat Earth is up till now.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
just
well, if you
attacking
listen,
And I have
Witsit.
some
Okay.
questions about flat Earth, and I have some questions about it. I asked them.
yeah, you're
Sometimes
trying to
gets difficult.
pretend that you're learning flat Earth from me by then
Not just
coming and
you, not just you.
taking a position that isn't mine and trying to force me to answer for it. Like that's super goofy.
No, I asked you about the relationship between 1 degree and 69 miles. Clarify that for 70
Yes.
degrees, 70 of
Yes,
those
and made a
increments, it
fallacious
would be
jump.
69 miles.
Somehow that
It
means I need
is
to make a claim of
69
the
miles.
distance of the equator.
So you talking over me, or am I talking over you? What's happening now?
Yeah, because you're just repeating
So you
yourself.
are talking over me.
Yes, for
Okay.
one time in the
Yeah.
last 2
But
hours,
that's
I talked
loud,
over you.
right? Just to be clear, we know where we.
All right, man. Like, I don't know. Like, oh, you said that 70 degrees, and that's 4,000
Yeah.
miles.
So what I hear is 70 increments of 69 miles. So I can now see 4,830 miles of flatness, right? And if they relate to latitudes and they relate to circles, then I see a radius.
Well, that's what you see. That's not what I see.
It's what you describe.
No, it's not.
Well, you described the going east to west as a circle.
I didn't even say that.
This
You
is
did
what you're
earlier
doing,
when you were
Elder.
talking about north and south. That's what you said.
No, no. Someone else jumped in and said that. I didn't even
Yeah,
say that.
No, that was you.
Do you
no,
want to
it
bet
Hey,
was
do
5 grand?
me.
you have like
It
do you have
was
like
me,
some beef
Elder
with
Bear.
Witsit? Yeah, do you have some beef with Witsit? Like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, it was someone else. He
You have
jumped in and said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." So, what's your point? I didn't say that.
Yeah, it was
no.
me.
When we were talking about Antarctica and I talked about south, you went to where? How do you know where north and south is?
Correct. And
And
then
then
you
we got
said,
talking
"Isn't
about
east and
east
west
and
on a
west,
flat
and
Earth
you
a
said,
circle?"
in relation to a compass, and then you asked me about a compass, and you said going east and west is a circle.
I did not say that. You said on a flat Earth, east and west is a circle, right? And then someone else jumped in and said, "Yeah." So, what's your point? And
I,
started interrupting him to keep talking because you just talking, talking, talking,
Oh,
talking.
okay.
I
So
said it's
it's
a
not a
circle on
circle.
yours too because I thought you were global.
So you
Yeah,
don't
he
go
said
in a
it. Yeah, that's
circle
what he
east
said.
and west. If you go east or west, you don't go in a circle. You say?
Holy shit!
Dude,
What is this, dude?
if you go east and west using a compass and a map that you're trying to force on me that I don't claim, then you would go in a circle on that map, you know, and what I actually explained to you was like
In
compasses
real
aren't
life? No,
as
in reality. Not in
yeah,
reality.
in
Would
reality,
you
how
do
would I
that?
possibly know in reality if I went in a circle that was 25,000 miles in distance? How would I know that in reality?
So you can't get anywhere. You wouldn't be able to navigate or.
Well, I guess I've gotten everywhere for, over 30 years of my life, and I've never had to calculate the distance that I traveled across the whole equator. I mean, I think barely anyone ever has even attempted that.
Okay, that's fine. So we're getting smaller and smaller. That's interesting.
I guys who don't get, I know you think these are like these big gotchas, and your overall point is just like you
They're
don't
not
have
gotchas. I'm trying
anything.
to understand you, Witsit. I'm trying to understand you and what you
Okay,
say.
okay,
Okay.
okay,
And so
okay.
we've got from big things you talk about, from the AI ionosphere, we've got down to something very, very local now. That's about your limit.
How is the entirety of Earth very local?
Well, you just described it as local because you haven't done any of
Oh wait, hey, how
it.
is
You have a
knowing the
map. You do
entirety of
have
Earth
maps, and you
local?
can get to the next city, and you can
That's
measure a
right, that's
distance to
right.
that
And
city.
those, and we
Yeah.
measure those distances assuming it's flat, and we create the maps as if it's flat, and yes, they all work.
And you then agree that for every 1 degree up to 70 degrees, you've got 69 increments, 70 increments of 69 miles of flatness.
We don't make maps that way. We don't travel that way in reality. So, if we're going to we're going to pretend we're Vikings and we're going to try to go from one continent to another.
Well, the Vikings
Yeah,
have been and gone. People have navigated and done that for a long time. That's
oh, so now we're back
that's a
to other
given.
people, not me. And I don't.
No, what we know. No, I know. Yeah, I understand
Dude,
now that
it's
actually
so
you are very local,
simple.
like everybody else, and you don't know either.
It's so simple that I even acknowledged, yes, it's pretty overwhelming evidence. There's absolutely a linear relationship between traveling on the ground and you have two options. Option A is because we have basically infinite vision that sees in straight lines forever, right? We just like see in straight lines and we're on a curved earth. The other option is that we're on a plane earth and we have curved visual space. So that is not mutually exclusive either way, other than the globe idea, the idea of the Earth's curving causing it, has to explain why it messes up under 15 degrees and all of a sudden becomes logarithmic, just like curved visual space would predict. And then they'll say refraction. And then I'll ask, how so? And they'll just say, trust me, bro, even though it's different than terrestrial refraction and we don't make any measurements and we can't actually predict it. And just trust me. And just so happens to compress it at a logarithmic rate, even though sometimes we claim refraction lifts things over hundreds of miles. And I'm like, all right, bro, I'm out of here. That's kind of how that goes.
Your magnetic field theory, there's circles, are they?
My magnetic field theory? I mean, they're kind of ovals in a magnetic field,
That Metamucil kick in on you, Elderberry? You starting to calm down?
Sorry?
Did that Metamucil
No, I
kick
mean,
in? Is that all docile?
Witsit agreed to something, but then he doesn't agree to anything.
When are we going to get to talk about integrity? Flat Earth has certainly lost
There we
it.
go. Now let's get it going. Let's spiral, dude.
Speak for yourself, drama queen.
Because of it. So
Let's start to spiral
we're
the
going
whole
to say, man,
chat.
we
Let's
just
do
don't know,
See,
right? We just
see, for
don't
those
know.
people,
Jesus
we certainly
Christ.
don't have any integrity, right?
You
for those
don't.
people
Maybe.
who
Speak for yourself.
What we're trying to corner here is the integrity part of this. That's what anybody really is supposed to be caring about. Now,
It should be curvature.
I got a particular problem here where I get accused of things, and you guys don't want to hear about it, and you don't want to hear about reality. So I'm just going to ask in general, how do we feel about accountability? Because, for instance, some people are making claims. David Weiss makes lots of claims. Nathan Thompson makes lots of claims.
You guys want to? You want to own
if
up
you
to
want
that,
to
guys?
pretend you're not making claims,
they're not here.
that's fine.
They're not
But-
here, though.
But
Yeah,
You have to
I don't see him in the chat anywhere.
Where's the integrity going to come from? Then? What do we got?
Somebody
Now,
mod this guy.
I got.
Somebody mod that.
Is everyone going to
everybody stop interrupting?
Or are we
Dude,
going
he's
to talk integrity?
hold on, Dan. Hold on. Dan, you guys, he's making a point. Why are 5 people talking over him?
He's talking about people that are not here, Gio.
Not here.
All right, I wasn't listening. Dan, did you have a point to add to the topic?
It's just that we should talk about the people that are offering us garbage.
Yeah, but they're not here.
Well,
okay, if somebody has information, if somebody hasn't or is putting out information you don't agree with, then you don't have to listen to it or continue to listen to them, right? You have your choice.
I'd appreciate it if you'd ask Austin right now to confirm the speculation that you attached to me. Just ask him right now if I was trying to.
Why don't you ask him? You're a grown ass man. He's in the chat with you.
I was trying to help or not, Gio. Just ask him.
Why don't you ask him? Instead of playing these he said, she said games.
Talk to me. He doesn't want to talk to me. And Gio made the accusation.
I wonder why.
Hold on, Dan. We're not doing interpersonal dramas. Did you have something you wanted to
This
add?
isn't interpersonal drama. This is something you accused me of.
We're live streaming right now, Dan. So I'm going to unmute you, give you one last chance. Otherwise, we're going to leave you on mute. Did you want to add to the topic, the conversation? Go ahead. It's your last chance. Go ahead.
Okay.
Add to the topic. We're live streaming.
This is my opportunity to clear my name in front of you.
We're not doing that. That's not okay. I'm going to mute you again. That's not what this live stream is for, Dan. This live stream is for topics, engaging, intellectual discussion, so on and so forth. Sometimes debates. It's not for just blasting out all of your emotions and concerns about things that you feel have happened in interpersonal dramas. That's not what this is for. So I'm going to have to moderate for what the live stream is for. I don't want to just.
That's not what this is for?
Yeah, I don't. I don't want to just shut you down. I'm going to unmute you. Did you want to add to a topic or something? This isn't the place to do that, to do what you're trying to do. So one last shot.
Well,
you want to
you
try to
kept
add?
asking Elderbear, what's he getting at? What's he getting at? What's he getting at? And let me just summarize. He was feeling empty in some solidity, in someone having something solid to talk about and say, this is how I actually feel, not I don't know. And if we just keep going, we don't know, and then you got these other people you say aren't here, but they're saying they do know, but we don't talk about them. We don't condemn anyone who lies. Come on.
Are they propagating misinformation or disinformation or information that's just retarded?
Not only that, I've been chastised and tossed for years.
They are?
Yeah.
They are? Okay, so then we can ignore them and move on.
You can say that, but now we're including the entirety of flat Earth. What do you got left?
Said B
No, that's what you're doing, dude.
Give you a hug. Would that fix things?
I'm just saying, what do you got left if you're
I mean, Dan, I don't agree with everything that's said. You know, just because somebody says they have a flat Earth or a planar stationary Earth cosmology doesn't mean that I agree. I'm just speaking for myself that I agree with everything they say. In fact, there's a lot of things I don't agree with.
You made accusations.
Why are you interrupting me?
This is audio chaos.
I was just responding to the topic. This is your topic. It's somewhat as we can talk on this. So we're not just. I was asking you not to go into all kinds of personal accusations and stuff. Because that's not what this is for. So
you
I was
fucking made a false accusation.
You're interrupting me. I was responding, speaking my mind about how I live my life. That's all I was doing. It had nothing to do with you. What I was saying is that if there are people, you're just interrupting. I was speaking my mind. So what I was saying is that if there's people that I may agree on some things with, but don't agree with other things, then I might take what is useful or what I agree with. I might set aside what they're saying that I don't find useful or that I think is false or is not validated or supported. And if they are putting out a lot of information that's really off base, I may not continue to, listen to them or, subscribe to their channels or whatever it may be. So all I was doing was sharing how I go about that. And everybody's different. Just because people may agree on some component of a worldview doesn't mean that, we have to, agree on everything else they say or have to, represent or back up every single thing someone else says just because we agree on something.
Can you just, without any crappiness, can you understand that when I went to try and work in the field, that there was a collective note amongst FE Corps to not talk, right? We're not allowed to talk. Flat earthers aren't working together. They're not going to work together. And this is something that needs to be spoken about openly.
This is completely off topic of what was Witsit
No, it's
and Elder Bear.
again, Elder Bear was asking, again, Witsit specifically, you were down there. What do you think? You were there. You, as a representative of our little community, went. So asking him questions is legit.
You were the chosen one.
I'm out of here, guys. Good night.
Asking his perspective.
That's kind of what I thought, really.
It's totally
it was legit to ask the questions.
This is just
That's not what happened at all. Like Elder Bell interacted with me a couple hours ago. I sat there and I didn't know who it was. So I just answered the question like with full honesty and like, here's what I think now. It changed this for me now. Like this would be my two maybe most viable understandings of it now. And then it quickly became obvious that he didn't actually care about those things. He was just trying to get a gotcha. And he's just asking me all of these like bad faith questions and interrupting me and talking over me. Then he jumped back in this time. All of a sudden, I need to defend cell navigation and the size of the equator and answer all of his questions. Like, it wasn't anything about you went to Antarctica and saw it. What is your experience?
I'm only interested in your position.
You've been backing up and you're backing up.
Listen.
He just wants to know where you parked. He just wants to know where the fuck you parked. All right? You just keep backing up. So wherever you're going to park, let's maneuver
you're a
around you.
grown man and you need someone else to tailor your thoughts for you, then there is a conglomerate of sources that would happily do that for you. You were force-fed them your whole life, where they take your brain out and fill it up for you. And if that's the way that people want to approach the world, they shouldn't be coming to me for that, since that's like exactly what I stand against. And I made that very clear as well, right? Like, not everyone is as comfortable with me not knowing things. I mean, so much so you got people claiming they know what's 4,000 feet or miles below their feet and what's 46 billion light years away from them. I just say I don't know, right? And I know people really spiraled about the sun. Like, dude, I told people before I went, if I saw it, it wasn't gonna change a ton. Other than now I know, and now we know a couple things don't work, and I still don't fully know how everything works. If that's not satisfactory to someone, I understand it. I don't have a personal obligation to hold their hand to some type of replacement, nor am I personally responsible for what their current position is.
We're not allowed to talk about your personal responsibilities.
Dude, and even with that thing that you keep bringing up, you don't know anything about it. You don't even know anything about that.
I definitely do, and I'd like you to tell Gio that I tried to help. I tried you to tell Gio right now.
Even
now. Tell him.
Even he didn't know about it. When I call it,
fucking tell him.
You're an insane.
Man, every time you drink your water, you get to acting crazy. You got to calm down, buddy.
Fucking be honest, you guys. Be fucking honest.
This is where you think you know things you don't. And just like when I talked to him on the phone, stop interrupting me, man. Stop interrupting me, man.
I begged you. You promised me. You promised me in writing, right? So just tell Gio I tried to help.
I don't know what
promise that you didn't keep, and it led to the other stuff that I'm not telling everyone. Right?
Crazy.
That isn't true. I went and talked to him on the phone and had to remind him of like 10 different things that we had agreed on that he didn't remember.
That you owe money to.
Stop interrupt. Dude, you have a problem, bro. Like, you don't know what you're talking about.
With your integrity. Yes.
Okay, cool. Go. Okay, cool. So, whatever.
In October, it's been 120 days.
So hard to listen
Dude,
to.
if I was to have a list of people that I felt obligated to tell you everything that's been going on with me since October, you wouldn't make the list, bro. Okay, and I talked to him on the phone. I talked to Chris on the phone and explained everything to him. And every few weeks, it's like he forgets. Okay, and don't interrupt me again. I know him way better than you do. And the reality is, as I started to go through, are you talking? As I started to go through everything that happened that he didn't seem to remember, right? It actually starts to turn the other way around very quickly. Okay. So I'm not going to get into the specifics of that because it's no one in here's business. Meaning, like, I'm not, I would happily say my side of it, but I'm not going to say his side of it. I'm also not going to try to talk bad about him or anything. And I love him. He's like my brother. He told me he regretted talking to you about it. So like, I don't know why you every single time I've been around you, you bombard me as though you're his attorney and you know way more about it than we do. But then I go talk to him and have lengthy conversations, and it's completely different. It's completely different. We're on good terms. I explain
Talk to him
everything
all
to
the
him. I
time.
talk to him
It's
about
not
all the
your only
details.
debt. It's not your only debt. Don't pretend it is. Don't pretend I don't know. Don't pretend you're afraid to talk to me. And tell Gio that I didn't go after you and I've been protecting you. Fucking tell him.
You're going
At
after him right
what
now,
are you
motherfucker.
talking about? Yeah, like
Because
you're
That's for
you're
damn
protecting
sure.
me.
accusing me of
Your
trying to
your your
drag you
your
into the mud.
version of protecting someone is that if you actually come across some information that's personal, not telling the
It's
whole
not
world about it. You're like a
because it's
child. You're like a girl.
personal. It's you
Dude,
being
I don't
fucking
care to publicly
shitball.
state that Chris loaned me some money on the tour and then wants me to pay him back. And then I said, hey, yeah, do you remember all this stuff I paid you back? Do you remember all this stuff that I paid for you? Do you remember when we discussed that specifically and we came up with this specific plan to pay you back? And then I did that and some, right?
What
So
number
you're
are you pretending you came up with? Because
I
you
guarantee
told
you,
me in writing
you
in
don't
October
even
you were
know.
going to pay him. Now you're pretending you don't have to. Fine. So should we mention the other debt? The bigger one? The bigger problem? Or should you shut me up
Look,
now
Why is
I
this
and
know
tell me
how
personal,
we
you
can
What
bro?
are you,
settle this,
dude? You're such
Dan.
a weirdo. You're
We can
such a
settle this by
weirdo.
starting a GoFundMe real quick and ask the community for money to settle this.
it's about you being
At
full of
what point
shit
in
and
time
me
did you
protecting
think,
you. I
dude?
don't need
Dude,
to protect you. In your writing, you're like, don't let this get out. Don't tell
I
anyone.
didn't
Fuck
say that.
you. Fuck you. Fuck
I
you.
didn't say that. You're a liar,
Why is this
Bullshit. It's in
personal
writing. I'll bring
attack?
it up right the fuck now. I'll
dude.
bring it up
This is what
right
Dan does to
Gio,
people.
what's going
This is what he
on,
does
Dude,
to people.
Dan,
Gio?
He goes
dude,
after
how do
Please
you
people.
not
control
see
Dan.
that you're objectively weird for
wrong with
being
you.
so obsessed with my personal situation that you're in a personal live stream or in a live stream screaming about it? It's just weird to me,
Yeah,
bro.
sounds like audio chaos to me.
Yeah, it looks
Dan,
like
do
he
you
left.
filter that water, Dan?
He just left on his own. I was asking him not to do exactly that, but
Well,
he did.
what really sucks about situations like that is like, ironically, him talking about integrity is like all of these things that I could say, all like with everything in my personal life, all these things that I could say that would explain it, I am not going to do for the benefit of other people. So, like, I mean, I don't care if people believe that or don't believe that. I mean, that's just the truth, right? Like the whole last year that's been the situation. That's actually predominantly why I haven't even been online the last year. It wasn't because I chose to do that. It wasn't because I was scared of something. It wasn't. It just that I'm not going to like. I'm cool taking unnecessary shots to have integrity. So someone because and I'll just say it, it's pretty clear, right? I just said it. Like Chris bought him money. Chris told me I called him and talked to him about it, and Chris like literally like forgot all kinds of stuff, whatever. And he told me he regretted telling him, like he wanted to meet him up for lunch. They met up for lunch and he told him all this different stuff. And then Dan went crazy with it and started making stuff up that Chris supposedly said. And then it was insane. And then he talked to me and I'm like, yo, Chris hates me now. What is he talking about? So then I talked to Chris and it's like not the case at all, obviously,
Yeah,
So
even the
Bro, this is
your
your
whatever.
personal
personal
shit,
shit. You
bro.
don't owe
Your
anybody
personal shit that
anything.
you don't even need to tell anybody any explanation for, bro. It's your personal
Yeah,
finances. That is nobody's business, bro.
I agree 100% with Elbow. Nobody deserves an explanation on your personal life. They can eat a dick.
Yeah, I was telling, the only thing I even know about this was Dan like DMing me out of the blue and just saying all this stuff. And I even said to him, I was like, dude, this sounds like some personal things between other people. You know, like it's, yeah, people have their personal lives. So, and he's been coming in here being like, I have something that if anyone DMs me, I'll tell them. And I don't know, he DM'd it to me and just, so yeah, but I don't know why he's so focused on that.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man.
Well,
Like the way he phrased it to
well,
me, it was basically like Chris was in turmoil about it, right? And he was being a good friend. He was like virtue signaling about it. But like I talked to him, and like Chris is going through some stuff, and I know all kinds of stuff about what's happened to Chris that's unfortunate and unfair and all this stuff, right? But like I'm not saying any of that stuff publicly. And I mean, I will just say, like with the tour, the reality of the tour, dude, was that when we totaled it up, I spent over $120,000. So I'll just let that sit in for a second. So for like 15 months or so, I spent over $120,000, dude, from like repairs to like feeding everybody to like an insane amount in gas, all these crazy things. And then I'm paying for a house where I'm not living in it. And then eventually, after like 5 months of paying for it, past the lease month to month where I'm not even living in it, we go back through Tennessee. I sell all my stuff for next to nothing, basically give it away just to continue the tour. And literally every dollar that came in, I was just like funding everybody. So like, you know, it is kind of frustrating where like someone can come along at the tail end of that and then try to paint me as being some like person that has no integrity and is taking money or something. Like it's like, what do you? I spent literally every dollar I had. I emptied all my crypto investments. I did everything just to fund that tour, right? Like that's what actually happened, and that's because I was like, I didn't really know where we were going. I didn't know if we were going to ever get out of lockdown. I didn't know if this was going to be like more of a permanent thing that we were in and out of, right? And I'm like, you know, whatever, we got to like get the word out however we can. We were getting censored all over every platform, so I'm like, you know, we'll just go tell people in our life. So whatever, bro. I will say this, right? Like this is the thing, right? So like, most people that kind of like do YouTube or like a stream or something, like let's just like if you name some of the more popular streamers like Sneeko, Nick Fuentes, like name them. Those are some pretty popular ones, or whoever you name, right? Like they don't come in Discord for like extended periods of time for hours, like an open book, like taking all questions for reasons like this, right? Like you can't even imagine, right? Like they stay in a very controlled environment. They're on their platform with their chat, with their moderators. And if people even start chatting things they shouldn't, they get blocked and banned from the chat. Same on their Twitter accounts or whatever.